So Iman made over $100 million with his content strategy, and in this video, I'm gonna break down his A to Z $100 million simple content strategy that he used to generate multi-seven-figure clients with simple raw iPhone videos, his secret positioning hack to pull eight-figure clients on command, and exactly how you can model this $100 million strategy inside your high ticket offer to scale your high ticket offer to 100K per month in 2026. So let's start off with the most important and the most fundamental part of his funnel, which is the foundations. And if you ignore this, nothing will work out because this is gonna be the foundation in which every single thing in every single component of your business is going to be built. So the goal is to get consistent, pre-qualified, pre-sold inbound leads from YouTube without burning our own ads, right? And for that, we need two things. First off, we need to actually target only one kind of ideal client profile, right? And then we have camp in their head, so we have to be very specific about the messaging and very specific about the kind of person that we want to attract with the content. So it happens with extreme specificity, right? And then we have to figure out the pains, desires, fears, dreams, doubts, and all of the other psychological aspects that are running in their mind every single time so that we can use them in our copy, right? So what starts to happen is once you have decided like just one kind of customer, like the best kind of customer that you want, and you define that, right? And then you figure out what's going on inside of their head, and you use that, you package your copy, your marketing language or your marketing terms based on that, you start attracting that kind of person. So here's how Iman does this, and here is his $100 million positioning strategy. So when you stumble upon his YouTube channel, which is generating multi seven figures on command, right? So you see there is an instant qualifier for the people who is this channel is for, right? And it instantly disqualifies as well who this isn't for. And anyone who is scaling to 10 million profit, he instantly know that okay, this channel is for me, right? So he does that with being extreme specific with who he want to help, right? Who he want to attract. And he does that by simply mentioning that okay, this is only for online entrepreneurs who want to scale to 10 million profit. That's it. So it's not for teenagers, it's not for guys who are broke, it's not for guys who are stuck in a college, it's not for a guy who is stuck in a job, or it's not for a random woman, in some like living some boring life, right? This is specifically for online entrepreneurs who want to scale to 10 million profit, right? So it instantly qualifies his exact customer. And if you just look at his packaging is only attracting the kind of customer he want, the kind of entrepreneur he want, right? So an entrepreneur would not click on Mr. Beast's thumbnail, right? He won't be watching the highly edited, these dopamine spiking videos in which a lot of entertainment factor is being played. He would specifically watch the boring business content that is providing value, that is solving problems, and that is actually giving the real value, right? So with his packaging, he is only attracting his ideal customer, right? So his ideal customer would actually click on these kind of revenue numbers, or again revenue numbers, and these diagrams, and these complex miro boards or something. So this attracts his customer, right? And he package his titles and thumbnails only for eight-figure entrepreneurs, right? So his positioning is a amalgamation of his specificity, right? So he's like super specific about who he wanna help, and then he has figured out with like years of trial and error in this game that what will actually make them click, right? So he knows exactly what kind of problems they are facing, what kind of things they're looking for, right? And what kind of videos that they will click on. So he used that, he make videos about that, and he attract that kind of customer to his profile. And then we have his YouTube homepage, which builds instant proof. So on his channel, he's basically preaching about um scaling your offers with organic content, right? And he does that, he instantly builds proof. So when anyone who is his ideal customer stumbles upon his profile, right, he's instantly watching this one video, which is basically building the instant proof in the first second, right? So Iman is preaching about, like all this content game and how they can actually scale their businesses with content, right? And he is instantly giving them the proof that he has built a $100 million personal brand, and he is breaking that entire thing down, right? And the best part is he isn't holding anything back, right? He isn't like telling them that there is something hidden behind a paywall, or you have to like give me few $1,000s to access this information. He is just giving away every single thing, right? And by giving it away, that like people assume that okay, his free stuff is so valuable, right? So his paid stuff will also going to be much more valuable, right? So he just gave it away all for free. He instantly builds proof. So anyone who is his ideal customer, right, they instantly start knowing him, liking him, and trusting him. So which is like the main factor of selling anything in this online space. You have to actually make somebody like you, know you, and trust you, right? And he does that with his like exact packaging and exact messaging. And how you can actually plug this $100 million positioning strategy ASAP. And here are just simple 3 steps. So number one is be extremely specific about who you help. So think which ICP brings the highest ROI, right? So for all of you watching this who are running a high ticket offer, it's going to be different, right? So what you have to think is, who is the best one kind of customer that brings the most ROI in my business, right? And you have to actually uh design that kind of profile, right? And once you do that, you only attract that kind of customer, right? So it's not like you will repel all the other people who want to work with you but don't fit in with that profile. But the goal is to only attract that kind of customer, right? So you can have the best clients coming to your doorstep, but at the same time you are going to be serving people who are like who doesn't fit that criteria, but they are a good fit as well, right? So for Iman, it's info entrepreneurs who are scaling to $10 million profit, right? And the way you can be extremely specific with this, just simply understand this diagram, which is in the level one, we have everyone in this space selling info. So from 1K per month to 10K per month, every single person who is like who want to scale to like you know um to multi six figures, right? But if we just go a little bit deeper, we have at level two info entrepreneurs who want to scale, who are making 10K per month to 100K per month, right? But if we just go a little bit more deeper, we have info entrepreneurs who are making 100K per month to $1 million per month, right? And you see, from this is way too much broad, right? Like if you are targeting everyone who is selling info, you're basically shouting, like shouting toward a crowd, and nobody's gonna hear your message, right? But if you are like, let's say, targeting info entrepreneurs who are only making 100K per month, if you call somebody out in the crowd, if there's somebody who is standing, with who is an info entrepreneur and who makes 100K per month, he is going to listen to you, right? Because this messaging is for him, right? But if we just go a little bit more deeper, he is basically targeting info entrepreneurs who makes 1 million to 5 million per month. So it's way too specific, right? So here we have millions of people, right, who are just selling info, right? And here we have few thousand, and here we have few hundred people who are doing 1 million to 5 million per month. So this is he who he targets with his content. And this is how you can like you can go from being too broad in the market to being super specific about who you want to help, by just telling them, okay, this is who I help, this is how much you guys make, and this is how I can help you. So I think you got this point. And the second thing is just camping inside their head. So if you want to like write addictive copy, you must know their pains, dreams, fear, doubts, and every single thing that they are thinking about 24/7, right? So if you don't have any data, you can just use AI. You can ask Claude to basically give you an in-depth market research about your ICP. But if you have data, like the real data that you have gathered after like spending time in the market, that is a gold mine for you, right? Because you can basically use that data to craft the messaging, craft ideas, titles, thumbnails, like all of these other things that can actually give you the best possible advantage in terms of like scaling your a high ticket offer to like six figures, right? So this is one of the most important thing that you can do. And if you're not gathering data, if you're not like understanding and trying to like get inside of the head of the customer, start doing that from today, because it's gonna give you you know multi like it's gonna just it's gonna be worthwhile, right? So that's it. So be extremely specific, right? Camp inside the head, figure out what they're thinking about. And then third and the last one is just put it on YouTube banner, and to basically instantly disqualifies the wrong people, right? So I took this point from his exact method, which is basically him mentioning that this is only for entrepreneurs who are scaling to 10 million plus profit, right? So you can just tell the people, okay, this is who I help, this is who you guys are, and just like instantly disqualifies other people who are not a right fit for you, right? So what you can do is you can just simply use this one simple format for yourself, or you can just come up with your different variations and all, and you can just test other things as well. So once you need the foundations, 80% of the work is done, and all you need to do right now is plug his $100 million content strategy on YouTube, and you have to just scale your offer with that, right? So let's start off with his $100 million content system, which I like to call micro authority flywheel. So Iman is basically making two type of videos. The first one is growth content. The second one is nurtured content. So in his growth content, he is only letting more eight-figure entrepreneurs enter his funnel. So he is basically targeting the more TAM, more total addressable market, right? But within the right market. Like he is making broad videos, but not that broad that he starts attracting the teenagers or other unemployed guys. He is making broad videos, but still he is being within the like the how you say that, he is still targeting the customers, right? So it's like pretty much enough broad so that you can actually attract your customers, right? So he is not chasing 1 million views, he's not like constantly chasing likes. He is simply going enough broad so that more new eight-figure clients and eight-figure entrepreneurs can enter his funnel, and they can eventually start being nurtured with his nurturing content. So you see, these videos are, they don't have millions of views, right? They have few thousand views, but they are specifically made for the entrepreneurs like who are selling some kind of info product, right? So you see, I made nine figure from info, or why billionaire hate coaching, or like these terms, and like info is dead in 2026, or I made 10 million in 7 days. So you see, anyone who is a teenager, or anyone who is like a guy who is just scrolling on YouTube, and he's just doom scrolling, he won't watch these kind of videos, right? He will specifically watch the kind of content which is like highly stimulating, and he it doesn't serve any purpose, right? But this kind of content only attract the people who are serious about business, who know these terms, right? Info, digital products, right? And these terms that actually are known in the info space. So he used that terms to, still attract the customer, but still being enough broad so that new people can enter his funnel, right? And then we have his nurtured content, which is basically once somebody who is his ideal client enter his funnel, they start being nurtured with the nurturing content, right? So he's nurturing eight-figure entrepreneurs with problem solving content, and he is basically solving the problems at a very high level, right? So this is the stuff that eight-figure entrepreneurs want to watch. So you see these problems like how to run a top 1% team, or how I made $20 million with one YouTube video, or the software stack, or a five-step system, or 100 million CEO reveals his secret to keeping A players. So you see, these are the like very like top level problems that the high level entrepreneurs are facing, and barely anyone is making content about that, right? And since Iman has built his reputation in this info space, he is qualified to talk about that, right? Like people know that he has made multi six seven figures in his in this space, so they trust him, right? So when he says something about like these problems that these entrepreneurs face as well, um they believe him, right? And he is the person that they actually want to listen to when it comes to these kind of problems, right? And if you just take a look at his titles, the thumbnails, he is leveraging his face, so people know him from his face, right? And he is using diagrams, numbers, proof exactly what his like ICP would click on, and he is like just using that raw real style, right? So you see, he's using his face, right? Like these numbers, these micro boards, and these like complex diagrams and all that his ideal client would click on, right? And then we have his video structure, which is basically he's making explainer videos with iPad, like him being sitting with his talking head on the one side, and his iPad on the other, or him just like making raw talking head content, and or just him giving some kind of presentation on stage. So these are the three kind of videos that he's making on YouTube. And here is his one video flywheel strategy that is generating most of the revenue, which is basically all the traffic that is generating from YouTube. So from growth content and from nurture content, it's being sent to these two videos, right? And these two videos work as a converting mechanism, or you can say. So when somebody who is new watch these videos, they are like they are being basically sold on his method. So it positioning him as an expert, as a figure of authority, but at the same time they are being basically sold to his method as well. So he's giving value and he's selling them at the same time, which is basically the best combination that you can build. And what this does is basically pre-handles the objections that his ideal customers can have, right? It position Iman and working with Iman as a next logical step, and it consistently farm most lucrative pre-qualified high ticket clients. So it just works as one of the best things that you can plug inside your business is send all the traffic to one single video, and it's gonna be either a free training or a free course, which basically give away every single thing that they need to succeed. And it just gives it builds enough trust so that working with you makes the next logical option, right? So he does that with these two videos. And once somebody is nurtured to basically start working with him, he sent his traffic to his like funnel, which is basically his conversion strategy. So he is generating attention from YouTube, he's sending that to funnel, he's closing people, and he's collecting the cash, right? So from YouTube videos descriptions, he is sending the traffic to two things. First we have the DM funnel. So he would like tell people to basically DM him some certain keyword on Instagram, and he would give you a free resource, right? And then they would like start like asking you questions, his like sellers, so that they can qualify you if you are the kind of person who can work with Iman. So they can basically sell you, right? And if somebody who want to work with him, he would ask, like he would answer these questions, and he would basically, uh, start exploring the options that they can, explore to work with him, right? So once somebody receive this free promised resource, right? They can just basically access that, right? So they can start using that. Or if they are qualified to work with him, the sellers will like try to qualify and close our DMs, right? And the setter 1, setter 2, or setter 3, like there are multiple setters that are working at a time. They would qualify the person if they basically met the criteria or not, right? So if there anyone who is making, who wanna actually scale to 10 million plus profit, they met the criteria. And if they don't met the criteria, the conversation is end, and they can basically access that, free resource, right? But if they met the criteria, the call is booked and the sales process happens, and basically the closer will open a call. They will close him for his 8-figure license program. Or if there is a no show, they would basically follow up by the sellers to reinitiate the conversation, right? So that's pretty much happened for the conversion step. And then he's also sending the traffic to his 8-figure funnel, which is basically all leads are, or like all leads from YouTube are basically coming as a pre-sold, right? So there is no VSL required in this, in this page. So if you are having the traffic, so from YouTube to, to a funnel, you need a VSL, right? Like people think having a VSL is a best option. But if the traffic is already pre-sold, they have watched enough videos in his like YouTube that they just wanna work with him. They just wanna like start working with him. Making them watch, a 10-minute video won't make any sense, right? So they are pre-sold, they are pretty qualified, and they want to work with him. So what he does is he just simply gives them the link to his calendar so that they can basically just, fill up a simple form. They can schedule a time, and they can basically, you know met the criteria, and they can be closed as a client, right? So that's exactly how Iman made $100 million with his YouTube, with his funnels. And this is exactly how he is consistently generating multi 7 figures. So if this video helps you, just let me know in the comment sections. And if you want me to, make some specific funnels breakdown for a specific person, or a specific creator, just let me know in the comment sections. And if you have a high ticket offer that you want to scale to 100K per month in 2026, just click the first link in the description and schedule a call. God bless.